The cash that's sitting in your checking account is losing value, and unless you take action, it's going to vanish over time. In this video, I'm going to cover why this is happening, where you should put your money instead, and how to select the right investment route. If you stick around till the end, I'll show you a trick that could save you even more. So why is this happening? In one word, inflation. Inflation is what happens when prices go up and therefore the purchasing power of money goes down. For example, if you track the average price of a movie ticket over time, it went from $4.35 in 1995 to $10.53 in 2023, which is a 142% increase. If you kept $4.35 in a checking account in 1995 that earned zero interest, you would have the same amount in 2023. While you could have bought a movie ticket in 1995 with that amount, you couldn't get one in 2023. Your cash number may not change in the checking account, but its ability to buy the same products and services will decrease. Each dollar will take you less further than before. That's the impact of inflation on money. Now, instead of the price of a movie ticket, let's imagine your checking account had an emergency fund that covers 6 months of expenses. With the current inflation rate of 3 to 5%, that cash is losing 3 to 5% of its purchasing power every single year, which adds up to a significant loss in value over many years. For example, $10,000 in your checking account at 5% inflation would have a purchasing power of just under $6,000 after 10 years. That's a 40% reduction in value. Having said that, banks make money regardless. Behind the scene, banks take the money in your checking account and invest it in other assets that generate returns. But you don't see a dime of that. Effectively, you are giving a zero interest or low interest loan to your bank. This begs the question, where should you put your money instead? I'm going to cover 4 different investment options. The first option is a high-interest savings account. A high-interest savings account, sometimes also referred to as a money market account, is a good option if you're looking to save for short to medium-term goals. They are a safe way to separate your savings from everyday cash, but may require larger minimum balances and have other limitations. For example, most high-interest savings accounts don't come with debit or credit cards, and transferring money into and out of the account might take a few days. These accounts are not designed with daily banking in mind. These restrictions, however, allow the bank to invest the cash into higher interest-earning assets that are more illiquid in nature. At the moment, there are many high-interest savings account offerings that earn interest north of 4%, with 5.15% being the highest. This means that if you put $1,000 into this account, it would earn $51.50 after 1 year. It's also worth noting that these accounts are insured by the FDIC. In contrast, 0.5% is the highest interest-earning checking account I could find. The second option is certificate deposits. Certificate deposits, or CDs, are a better option if you are looking for a guaranteed rate of return that's typically higher than a savings account. In exchange for a higher return, funds are tied up for a set period of time, and early withdrawal penalties may apply. The attraction here is that you can select the duration for which money is locked based on your needs. It can range from 1 month to 5 years or more. You can invest your cash into a 9-month CD that earns 5.75% or into a 1-year CD that earns 5.67%. The upside to longer terms is that you are guaranteed a fixed return. For example, if you put $10,000 into a 1.5-year CD that earns 5.5%, you earn $550 of interest in the first year and $290 in the remaining 6 months because of compounding effect. In this setup, you know exactly how much cash you are getting at the end of the term, regardless of market conditions, which means you can plan your future cash flows with more confidence. The downside to longer terms is the opportunity cost of missing out on higher earning investment opportunities if they come up. Some CDs also require a minimum deposit amount ranging anywhere from $500 to $25,000 or more. You might consider this a downside. or an upside if the financial institution offers other perks for depositing such a large sum of money. And similar to a high-interest savings account, most CDs are also insured by the FDIC. You can buy CDs through a bank or a licensed broker. The third option is money market funds. A money market fund is a type of mutual fund that invests in highly liquid short-term instruments. Examples of these instruments include cash, bankers' acceptances, which is just secured debt, commercial paper, which is just unsecured debt, CDs, which we just covered before, and treasury bills. The main attraction here is that money market funds can cherry-pick high-interest variants of each instrument type to generate higher overall returns. Moreover, the fund has many investors, which gives the managers of the fund scale and ability to find attractive investment instruments that may not be available to retail investors like you and I. There are some downsides though. The first downside is that while some of the instruments within the funds are insured by the FDIC, the fund itself is not. The second downside is that these funds charge a management fee, sometimes also referred to as expense ratio, which reduces your gross returns. And the third downside is the age of the underlying instruments. With the recent rapid interest rate hikes, the interest provided by newly issued short-term debt, bankers' acceptances, and commercial paper have also increased. If the fund is filled with older instruments that predate the rate hikes, the returns on the fund will also be lower until those older instruments just cycle out. If you can accept these downsides, there are many money market funds to choose from, and each fund will specialize in the type of instruments it invests in. For example, the Vanguard Federal Money Market Fund invests in cash and short-term securities issued by the US government. The goal of the fund is to provide high returns while maintaining a high level of liquidity. And it appears to accomplish this task with a 5.3% return and an expense ratio of 0.11%. This means that if you invest $1,000 into this fund, you will earn $53 after 1 year and only be charged a management fee of $1.10, which results in a net return of $51.90. Another example is the JP Morgan Prime Money Market Fund, which invests in short-term US government securities, floating rate debt issued by corporations, and highly rated commercial paper. The goal of the fund is to provide high returns while maintaining a high level of liquidity and low volatility of principal. The last feature there is actually quite helpful in the context of preserving your principal, as these funds are not FDIC insured. The fund has an annual return of 5.24% and an expense ratio of 0.5%. This means that if you invest $1,000 into this fund, you will earn $52.40 after 1 year and be charged a management fee of $5, which results in a net return of $47.40. You can buy these funds through a bank or licensed broker. And the fourth option is treasury bills. Treasury bills, or T-bills, are issued by the US Treasury Department to finance government spending. These securities have the shortest time to maturity, ranging from a few days to 1 year. They are sold at a discount to the face value. When the bill matures, you are paid the face value. The difference between the discounted price and the face value represents the interest earned. For example, if you bought a 1-year T-bill for $950 that pays out $1,000 at the end of the term, you made $50 or a 5% return. This type of security might be a good fit if you want low risk, because they are backed by the US government. T-bills are the de facto safe haven investment for investors. When the stock market goes down, you'll often see investors flocking to the safety of treasuries. You can buy T-bills directly from auctions held by the government on the Treasury Direct website. They are issued in maturities of 4, 8, 13, 17, 26, and 52 weeks. There are auctions featuring different maturities every week except the 52-week T-bill, which is sold every 4 weeks. Alternatively, you can purchase them through a bank or a licensed broker. The 3-month T-bill is currently yielding 5.31% and the 1-year T-bill is yielding 5.38%. The yield on a T-bill rises as the time of maturity lengthens. The return on T-bills are slightly lower than comparable securities like CDs. This is because of their perceived safety due to the government guarantee of interest and principal. Given these four options, how do you choose the right investment route? It's actually simple. Invest your cash based on your needs. If you need liquid cash in 3 months, don't tie it up in a 6-month non-redeemable CD. If you need to access funds quickly, a high-interest savings account might be the better fit. Alternatively, if you know you don't need cash for a year but want a guaranteed return, a 1-year T-bill might be the better option. Talk to your financial advisor about your goals and needs with regards to cash to help you select the best instrument. And make sure you understand the terms and conditions of the instrument that you end up choosing. Finally, the trick I mentioned at the start that could save you even more. So every dollar of interest earned in the examples before is taxable. But the beauty of these four investment options is that they can all be housed within a tax-advantaged vehicle like a Roth IRA or TFSA. By making these investments within a tax-advantaged vehicle, all the returns and subsequent reinvestments are sheltered from tax. Obviously, please consult with your financial advisor before taking any steps. I hope this video gave you inspiration to maximize returns from every dollar sitting in your bank account. As always, if you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.